Oh, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. I know, I know, I know. I'm super late. I'm so sorry. I know the second round has already started, but it happened so quickly. What up, guys? Mr. Schwoozy here. I know it's late. I'm sorry. But the first round of the playoffs is done. It's over. I made some predictions a couple weeks ago, beginning of the first round, and I'm gonna go through those picks and we're gonna see how we did. I'll give my quick thoughts on them and then we'll just continue. I'll try to make it quick because everyone knows what already happened. Alright, the first series we're gonna talk about is the Vegas Golden Knights vs. Chicago Blackhawks. I predicted that this series would end 4-1 in terms of Vegas. Vegas would win 4 games, Chicago would win 1. And hey, that's what happened. That's great. That's perfect timing on my part. Perfect predicting on my part. I just think that's awesome. I mean, there's nothing more I can really say about it. I mean, Vegas played amazing. Chicago needs some help, and I just think that Vegas is strong, man. I mean, they outmatched Chicago in every game. I'm surprised Chicago got one, honestly. Um, I mean, they're good. Their core is still the same as it has been for the last 60 years, but yeah, no. Vegas they're too good in these playoffs. That's all I can say. I mean, it's too good. They're too good. They're too good. It's just they're too good. So yeah, I got that prediction 100%. The next series we're going to talk about is the Colorado Avalanche versus the Arizona Coyotes. I predicted that Arizona would win. No, I predicted that Colorado would win this series for nothing. I didn't think Arizona stood a chance, and they didn't. But they got one game. Colorado ended up winning this series 4 games to 1. This is probably the most surprising result because I really didn't think Arizona would get a game. Colorado is they're so good. Yeah, Colorado. I keep somehow confusing Colorado with Arizona. It's weird. But Colorado is just so good. I've underestimated them a lot the last couple years. They used to be my least favorite team just because I hadn't heard about them at all. And then a couple years ago, when my team made the worst decision possible and got Matt Duchene, I started hearing about them all over the place and just how good they were. And they were good. They were good in the series. And yeah, I mean, Arizona had some decent goaltending, but it's not enough to keep up with Colorado. I mean, they got a lot of goals, they got a lot of offense. They kept tearing Arizona apart. And yeah, Colorado wins 4-1 against Arizona. So congrats, Colorado, and good job, Arizona, for getting at least one. Good job. The next series we're going to talk about is the Dallas Stars versus the Calgary Flames. Now, I was really torn on this series. Um, I honestly had no idea what to do because I did my bracket. I think I had Calgary winning just because I thought this series could go either way. Calgary is really good, in speed wise, but Dallas can just shut down, and when they get into the game, they get into the game, and that showed in the final game where Dallas wins. Dallas won and won the series. I predicted Dallas to win this series 4 games to 2, and Dallas ended up winning the series 4 games to 2. So good on my part. I didn't say this in my hockey bracket, which is upsetting, but what can you do, right? What can you do? So yeah, I mean, Calgary got up to a good start in most games I saw. But Dallas they shut them down and they got more goals than them. They got more chances. They got better goaltending and Matthew Kachuk. No, yeah, Matthew Kachuk going down was a big loss because he's a big player on that team, and just there was something up, and um, Dallas won. Dallas won pretty handily, and that last game, I was actually watching the last game at work because I worked the night shift, and so I was watching the last game, and the first period ended right before my first break, and so I started listening to some music while waiting, and I forgot to turn the game back on again, and I came back. I don't know. I think the game ended at 1 a.m. I came back at 3 or 4 a.m. To see what the game ended. So I was like, oh, Calgary had a 3-1 lead at the end of the first period. They had a 3-0 lead. If they come out with the same intensity every period, there's no way that they can lose. And they blew it. Yep, they lost 7-3. I was like, wow, I can't believe I missed this. But I watched it again, and I saw everything happen. And yikes. Yikes. It was rough for them. I mean, they changed goalies twice, I think. Yeah, because they went from Talbot to Riddick, and then Riddick back to Talbot again. So that's that was not good. Those two Lucic penalties were killer for them. And they couldn't get back into the winning mindset after the 4-3. After they pulled the goalie, or changed the goalies up, they just couldn't get back into the winning mindset, and they couldn't get any more offense. So that was upsetting on Calgary's part, but good on Dallas. All right, next series, and I believe the final series in the West. Yes, the final series in the West is the St. Louis Blues, the guys I picked to go straight to the Cup final against Boston for the second year in a row, against the Vancouver Canucks. I predicted St. Louis to win 4-2 because I really wanted them to go to the finals. I thought they could do it again against Boston. I didn't think they could win again. I thought Boston would win, but I thought they could go to the Cup finals again. I didn't think they had that much of a barrier in front of them. So I predicted them to win 4-2 against the Vancouver Canucks, but Vancouver is maybe the most underrated team in the West here. And they ended up winning the series 4-2. They pulled a new reverse card on me and won the exact same amount I thought that St. Louis would win against Vancouver, which is just, wow. I saw only a couple games of this series. I definitely saw game 1, and just St. Louis just did not look like the team that won the finals, that won the cup, that won it all last year. I was really, really disappointed by what I saw. I have here that my hockey pool is falling apart. It really is. It really is falling apart. I'm so bummed looking at this result. Like, this is one of the most upsetting results I've seen. Pittsburgh losing to Montreal was upsetting, and St. Louis winning to Vancouver, losing to Vancouver is also upsetting. So, yeah, it's not great. I got the number of games right. I didn't get the winner right. I got it completely wrong. But hey, good on Vancouver. Vancouver's the only Canadian team left now. Spoiler alert for 30 seconds from now. But yeah, good on Vancouver. I'll be passively cheering for them for the rest of the playoffs. And St. Louis, what are you doing? All right. I'm just gonna pause it, but it's gonna be an awkward pause. I'm gonna save this document I have open right now, and we're gonna go straight to the East. Give me one moment. Okay. The East. I did way worse in, I think. Yeah, I did way worse in this. So, but let's go on. The first series we're going to talk about are the Philadelphia Flyers versus the Montreal Canadiens. I underestimated both of these two teams before the playoffs started. I didn't think Philadelphia was going to do as good as they did in the round robin. Yeah, round robin. And I didn't think Montreal would do as well in the qualifying. But they both did very well. And I sadly had to underestimate one of these two teams again. And I underestimated the right team. I thought Philadelphia would win the series 4-1. And they ended up winning the series 4-2. I gotta say, there were a couple things in this series that were just not right. There were some reffing decisions that were just not some they just weren't right in this series. I didn't see a lot of it, but yeah, I don't know. It just some of the things just didn't sit right with me. Montreal had 2 good games and 4 really bad games, and Carey Price played amazingly. I don't have the exact stats, but he played amazingly from what I saw, and it's just Philadelphia wins the series 4-2, and they're going on to the next round, and I have a lot of faith in them the next round. We'll talk about that in the next video, which is coming, I don't know, in 6 months. I don't know, who knows. So, congratulations, Philadelphia. Alright, the next series we're going to talk about, the Washington Capitals versus the New York Islanders. I did not know that Barry Trotz, the old Washington Capitals coach, was now coaching the New York Islanders. That is something I did not know, and I wish I knew that before, because then I would have picked New York to win. Because I did pick Washington to win the series 4-2. Because I just thought, you had the same team, or around the same team that won the Cup just 2 years ago, facing up against a team that has had recent playoff success. They swept New York, swept Pittsburgh last year, but I don't know. I wish I'd known, because Barry Trotz came out and showed why he should have belonged on the Capitals the whole time, because the Washington Capitals lost to the New York Islanders 4-1. And, I mean, I saw the game where they almost swept them, and they had a 3-0 lead. Never get a 3-0 lead in this series, in this playoffs. Holy crap. And Washington stormed back to win 4-3. And then the next game, just New York battered down, and they won the game. And so, good on New York for winning. I'm again passively cheering for this team for the next round. So, yeah, good job, New York. All right, next series is the Boston Bruins versus the Carolina Hurricanes. I predicted Boston to win 4-2. Boston won 4-1. I think Svechnikov. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Svechnikov getting hurt in, I think, game 1 or 2. Him getting hurt was major, because he's a big boost in that team. He's maybe one of my favorite players in the league. He's a good player on the ice, and he just seems like such a good guy off the ice too. And yeah, he was probably a big morale booster in the locker room, and him getting hurt and maybe being out for maybe almost a year it's a major for that team and that franchise. So it sucks. But him being gone, I think, really hurt Carolina very badly. Carolina just kind of slumped after he left, which kind of sucks for them, but that's what happens sometimes, and it sucks. But people thought that'd be evened out when Rask left for what we now know is a family emergency. His daughter was sick. We know what he left, but Halak, Halak, the backup goaltender, really stepped in, and from what I saw, did very well. He won I think 3 of those 4 games. Yeah, because I think Boston took one of the lead. So yeah, he won 3 out of those 4 games and only lost 1 game. So that's really good on Halak's part. And I think he's going to be their goalie moving forward. I don't see him slowing down, so Boston's going to be a hell of a team to compete against this upcoming second round. And they've already played a couple games. I don't know the score of them because I'm trying to keep away from them so I can make my predictions. But yeah, so congratulations for Boston and Carolina. You'll get there. You'll get past the Boston hump eventually. I promise. All right. The final series for the 2020 second round of the 2020 playoffs. The Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, I have a little bit of a confession to make. In the video where I predicted these, I thought that these games were going to be later in the day, where I could watch them during my night shift. And I was very excited for this series. And, well, they were all at 3 p.m., where I was sleeping. And I couldn't watch as many of them. And other than that, 5 overtime, which I woke up and was like, the game was over. It wasn't over. I didn't watch many of this series at all. But I predicted Tampa to win 4-2. And Tampa ended up winning 4-1. So, I mean, good on Tampa. Really thought Columbus was going to do slightly better. But they were a young group. They're relatively inexperienced against each other. And Tampa needs to get it done this year. They have a lot of contracts expiring. They have a lot of people who are going to want bigger contracts. And with the cap not going up this year, the amount of money you're allowed to pay players not going up this year due to the whole COVID-19 pandemic, they might be in a little bit of player trouble this offseason. So players are going to prove themselves to stay on this team. And Tampa's going to be tough. I think they're playing against Boston in this next round. That's going to be interesting. But we'll talk about that in the next video. So, but yeah, I mean, Columbus just could not come back. I mean, they played a tight game. The scores, what I saw, were pretty close overall. So Columbus did keep up with Tampa. They just couldn't get past them other than that one game. So that's really upsetting on Columbus's part. Good on them. Good on them, though, for passing the Leafs and then just 2 days later playing 5 overtimes and then every 2 days playing another game. They were soldiers during these playoffs. So, yeah. Good. I mean, kudos to Columbus for keeping up with one of the strongest teams in the league. But, I mean, I got to commend Tampa for finally getting the monkey off their back and winning against Columbus. It's not the same as being swept, and we all know that that Tampa is the better team than Columbus, which is why I picked them. But yeah, congrats Tampa, and Columbus. We'll see you next year. All right, I believe that is everything. Yeah, it is. All right, that's everything. Well, we're at the 19-minute mark about. So I want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you to the 2 of you who are watching, and to the none of you who have been awaiting this video. So thank you. And to the 6 of my subscribers, 2 of which I think are me. I don't know. And if you're not subscribed, which I think all of you watching this video aren't, make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you want me to do more hockey stuff. I'll definitely do hockey stuff for these playoffs. But if you want me to do more hockey stuff for the Sens, my favorite team, or just overall general hockey stuff throughout the year, leave a comment and tell me what you think. Okay, bye.